bases in the region, as well as targets inside Israel. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Tell me
Got a dead carpet giving you the blues? Tired of your old dingy and broken tile? Let my friends at the Floor Store in Cleveland, Texas give your home the makeover it deserves. This is Old Taco Joe coming to you for the Floor Store. Whether it's carpet, tile, wood flooring, or real wood laminate, the Floor Store can cover all of your flooring needs. Located at 405 West Henderson Street in Cleveland, Texas, owner Brent Harris can help. Shower tile, tub surrounds, even backsplashes. Give them a call today at 817-641-9444. The Floor Store, they got you covered.
Wilfred Brimley for Loafing Dog.
Hi, I'm Wilfred Brimley for Loafing Dog. You know, when I get the hankering for a hot dog, I go to Cleveland, Texas. Just a couple blocks off the square, they got Loafing Dog. They got the Neely Dog, the Mary Sunshine Dog, the Casey Dog, and the Shirley Dog. Why, they even got the Pacer Dog, the Brooklyn Dog, and the Jim Dog. Can't forget the Shane Dog, or the Joy Dog, and the Monty Dog. I like that fool. The Nakia Dog and the Braxton Dog round things off. Why, they even got a kids menu too.
Loafing Dog, 208 East Chambers Street, Cleveland, Texas. Lunch, catering, or takeout, plus outdoor seating. Phone number is 817-556-1040.
This is Wilfred Brimley. And don't forget, Loafing Dog won't give you diabetes.
When you're hungry for tender brisket or some delicious homemade cobbler, then look no further than Leach Brothers Barbecue, located at 1106 East Henderson, Cleveland, Texas. Leach Brothers has been family-owned and operated since 1950. Take it from me, Taco Joe Orwinski. Todd and his family have been filling my belly breakfast, lunch, and dinner for a long time. Heck, I even have my own booth, open Monday through Saturday, 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. Come see them for dine-in, carry-out, and all your catering needs.
You're listening to Joco Community Radio.
Well, good evening and welcome to the Reach Across Johnson County segment on Joco Community Radio. You can join us live here on Facebook or download the TuneIn Radio app. It's free. Where we are here live 365 on Joco Community Radio, the voice of Johnson County, Texas. And as I mentioned, we're the Reach Across Johnson County Coalition, and Reach's mission is to support safe and healthy choices vital to the well-being of our youth, families, and communities. This show will guide you, educate you, and inspire you to be part of the solution and to reach out and help make a difference in our communities. What began as a local movement in the city of Midlothian grew to include programs throughout Ellis County with only a few years, and eventually expanded into neighboring Johnson County, Texas. And here we are today. And my co-host, Nikki Bowman, is here with me.
Hi, everyone.
And today we've got three of our other co-workers, and actually our supervisor is here with us. And we're going to just kind of do some updates on the coalition. And I'm going to have everybody just kind of introduce themselves. Again, I'm Shari Phillips. I'm the community liaison at Reach Council, and I work in Ellis and Johnson County.
And I'm Nikki Bowman. I am the Drug Free Communities Coalition coordinator.
I am Jennifer. I am the Director of Community Programs, which means I get to work with our coalitions and our youth recovery program.
My name is Emily Steffelbein. I am the COVID Project Coordinator, and I work specifically in Johnson County.
My name is Ashley Petkin, and I am the new Johnson County Coalition Coordinator, and I help with helping coordinate and implement events and activities within our community.
Awesome.
Welcome, Ashley.
Yeah, we're so happy
And
to have
Emily.
you.
Yeah, and Emily, sorry.
This is going to, we're going to have fun this evening talking about some of the different things. And I get real excited when we talk about our coalition and the things that we're doing in our community. So again, welcome everybody. So what I want to do is ask, somebody to explain what is Reach Across Johnson County Coalition and what our purpose is. Anybody want to jump on that?
I mean, I feel like, our coalition is just about building our community and really helping not just the youth, but the adults, parents, educators in Johnson County know about drugs and alcohol. And, recently with the pandemic, just mental health overall and what we can do to survive and just make our community stronger. And I grew up in Johnson County, and to me to be able to have this resource and this coalition is amazing, and it's comes like from my heart. I know Ashley's from Cleveland, right?
Yes.
So, how do you feel about the coalition, and what do you think?
It makes me excited coming from Cleburne. It makes me passionate to work in the area that I live in because I know people, I can see issues and gaps, and it just feels more personal to be working to build a better community in the community that I live in.
Absolutely.
What made you interested in the coalition, or where were you before you were working at Reach?
Well, before I worked at Reach, I was still in college. I just graduated about a month and a half ago. So
Congratulations.
I'm a baby in the professional workforce, but I'm super excited. And I've always been really passionate about health promotion, specifically mental health, especially just knowing a lot of people that really struggle with it. And there's this big stigma around it. And I wanted to be a part of just breaking that stigma and helping people make healthier choices, healthier lives, healthier communities. So when I saw this job posting, I was super excited. And I honestly didn't think I would get it, but I'm really grateful that I did.
And I was letting her know earlier that we have been looking since around August, and we were picky. We weren't just going to take anybody. There were a few things that we were looking for. We wanted someone to be passionate, and I really wanted someone from Johnson County because I feel like when you're from Johnson County, you just get it and you understand more about what the community is needing.
Yeah.
And then just relationships. I feel like when you're from Johnson County, it's easier to be able to go and network and build those relationships.
For sure.
So I'm excited to have you.
Thank you. I'm excited.
All right, good deal. So we've talked about, the coalition actually has two different grants. We have the federal grant, which is the Drug-Free Community Grant, which is what Nikki is the program manager of for it. And I know that there's specific things that each of the grants are able to cover. Do you want to kind of talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, earlier before the show, Ashley and I were kind of talking, and I told her we all work together, and CCP, the Reach Across Johnson County's coalition, and then the Drug-Free Community Grant that we just received. There's a lot of, I guess, things that we're going to be doing that are going to align. But then there's some differences. I think we're going to try to focus a little bit more on, what do we say, vaping and THC for drug-free community. And it's awesome because we've got more funding. So Ashley can kind of hit the ground running with the alcohol side and prescription drugs and really help the youth there, where I can kind of take the other side, and then we can just team together and, just
absolutely
help Johnson County clean up.
So we'll cover tobacco and vaping and things like that are issues. So I know one of our current projects or initiatives that we're working with is for smoke-free Burleson. And I know with COVID, things kind of had to go on pause there for a little bit, but we still want to advocate for a smoke-free community. This is where everybody has the privilege to be able to go to work and not have to worry about breathing in, the toxic fumes from cigarette smokes, and then it does include restrictions on vaping indoors as well. We're not telling people that they can't smoke or they can't vape. We're just wanting them to be mindful of where they're doing that.
Were you about to say something, Jen?
I was, but we'll get back to it.
I just didn't want us to forget. So as far as the vaping, to me, it's big because I have a teenager, and then I have twins that are coming, right behind. And from what I'm hearing from all the educators in Burleson and Alvarado, and I'm sure it's, Johnson County wide, is the vaping in the schools. And just, I feel like whenever I was a teenager in schools, cigarettes were around, but you really couldn't light up a cigarette in a hallway. It wasn't like the 70s or, maybe the 80s. I don't know how that
No, it was in the 80s
too. Yeah.
When I was in high school, we had a smoking patio at our school, which was ridiculous. Couldn't have a Coke machine, but we could have a smoking patio.
My husband and I were watching a movie I can't remember what it was, but they were, something to do with the Olympics, but they were just lighting up, and I was laughing about that. But to get back to what I was saying is now the kids it's a little bit more accessible, I think, for them to hide the vapes and be able to smoke in the bathrooms, even when they've got the detectors and everything.
Hey, they can smoke in classrooms.
They
I mean, they really can. And so that is why I'm really advocating for us to just teach the young youth about the side effects, the issues that I think for a while there, everybody thought it was safer, and that's not the case.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's given up one. I don't know. It's kind of like, apples and oranges. I mean, everything's going to have, it's dangerous side effects. Vaping is we're still in the early stages of learning what all the side effects are.
That's what I tell the kids when I'm at the schools. I'm like, guys, I want y'all to know tobacco has been around for hundreds and hundreds of years. I mean, it has. Vapes and the chemicals and the things that are in these, what is it? Like, not attachments, but everything that they're using, we don't know devices, what it's doing to fertility or what it could be doing to your children. I mean, we have no idea yet that cancer or whatever else is going to be happening. And that scares them. They look at me and they're all like, they have not even thought about that.
Well, it took 50 years before we started getting the information regarding tobacco, and for them to start putting, the dangerous labels and things like that on it, early on. In advertising, this is something that we kind of learned. We went to the Smithsonian recently, and they had a section in there regarding tobacco and the advertising and stuff when it first came out, where doctors were saying, it's good to smoke or it's safe to smoke, and all
this is the cigarette to smoke, which is just crazy that was even okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
and so we're going to be looking, let's say 20, 30 years down the road, we're going to be saying this about vaping, and it seems like there's always something that wants to take the place of something else. And so I think it's going to be something, when you're in prevention, it's kind of hard to stay a step ahead, because there's already something else that's in the works, that's going to be the next big thing.
I think it's amazing that we have this radio show and this platform, and I'm just so thankful to Tiffany for letting us have this hour each week, because being able to bring professionals in the medical, community on to tell us more, because we don't know it all, and we learn something every week. So it's pretty neat to be able to have this and to just, let the listeners hear more things about
absolutely
vaping or whatever else
I'm
that we
like
decide.
It's a constant learning, and I've been in prevention now going on 11 years, and the things that I know now versus early on, it's like I cringe sometimes, when I think about some of the things. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I can't believe I did that, or I let my kids do certain things, and it's like I just cringe sometimes when I think about it. But we kind of talked a little bit on the DFC grant focus, and then of course with the CCP, Ashley's going to be, talking about the alcohol, prescription drugs, opioids, and things like that. And so again, those are some initiatives that we've already been working in the community on to bring awareness.
The funders for the CCP grant, by the way, is Health and Human Services, and for the DFC grant is the CDC.
Yes.
So one of them's a state level, one of them's a federal level.
We need to. That's good to share.
Let everybody know. And so, this funding is going to allow us to do prevention work within our communities, give education. We can do community town halls and things like that to help educate. We go into our schools and do presentations, and and even civic groups. We do a lot of community events when we've been asked to come in. And so
we were really excited when we got the DFC grant. I mean, it was
huge.
A celebration at Reach, and the community might not know yet, but it's just going to do so many things. I mean, I'm so excited just to see what the next year is going to look like.
The team grew. We now have an office in Cleburne.
Yes, we do have a new office in Cleburne. I will look up the address and let y'all know that in a little bit.
406 Granbury Street. It's right next to HEB.
Yes.
I've had to type that on so many
such a cute little house, and we're really excited about that.
And of course, our main office is still in Midlothian. That's where our home base is located. But many of us have been working a lot remotely. And as the girls will find, working in the community, you're hardly ever in the office. You're always out in the community as much as possible, working on various initiatives that are coming up. Speaking of grants and things like that, this last year we received some additional funding for COVID. And, Jen and Emily can kind of talk about that, what the purpose and everything is.
Yeah, just one of the things really quick that I've been so excited about is I think COVID might have like precipitated this. Is that the right words? Like kind of brought this in. But now not only do we focus on like drug prevention and the idea of like focusing on these particular substances that, we've already mentioned, but we're also really starting to focus more on mental health because that plays such a role, right? In all of this other prevention, like knowing how to cope with your feelings and emotions. Like emotions are, good or neutral. They're never bad, but like coping with them, it's kind of how you cope with that and how you handle it and who you can reach out to, when you're feeling those emotions and things like that. Anyway,
when did they add that? Do you remember? Was it the summer when they added that new? I know we were really excited because of the pandemic,
the
mental
COVID funding.
No, the mental health.
Oh, it was like August when they said, okay, now you can start really using your funding.
So the way that they give us the
for
funding,
it.
everybody, in case you don't know, is you have to kind of be using that to hit different topics in your community. So ours before was tobacco, alcohol, prescription drugs, and marijuana. And all of that leads, of course, from mental health. I mean, there's got to be a reason why people are using substances to begin with. I mean, it's not always just to have fun. I mean, there's reasons that people get addicted. And when they added the mental health portion, we were at Reach. We were all really excited. Ashley was excited, and we were talking about that earlier too.
It's given the job a new purpose and a new meaning, and to really be able to just acknowledge those things and do interventions, whatever.
It is because it's hard when we're working just on addiction or when
drug
you're
facts.
when you're just on drug facts, it's just like, gosh, it can get you down. Not that mental health can't, but if you're bringing the happiness into that and to show people healthy coping mechanisms, then it's really exciting.
Not just this is your brain on alcohol or drugs, which it can be a scary thing to look into.
But I feel like our youth these days are very aware of mental health, and they are learning coping skills that we did not learn.
I've noticed that.
We didn't really discuss these things when we were in school.
Nope.
Kids are more self-aware.
They
think
are
a lot more now than I ever was. They can reflect on, how they're feeling, why they're feeling it.
And why. And if it's parents, I would never back in my day be like, y'all are the reason why I'm so messed up and I need to be going to therapy.
I know.
As my daughter Kendall would be like, Mom, I need therapy, and y'all are one of the reasons why, which is kind of hard, but if I can heal her before it gets too bad, then I'm all for it.
Yeah, true. Well, Emily, you want to kind of talk about some of the things with the funding?
Can I just add one more thing really quick?
Oh, please, absolutely.
Just one more detail would just be that we got funding from like a stream of, it was like relief funding. So I think another one of the things too is like, how do we get this funding into the communities? Well, let's do it through coalitions.
Yes.
So we were so excited to get this funding, and then Emily has just taken it and run with it, and has been working with so many partners, really listening to what their needs are. And anyway, now you can talk. Sorry. I just wanted to give that introduction and just how much we really appreciate her.
Absolutely.
Being here.
Of course. And I love my job. I love my job. I love mental health. I love working with community. I love all the people I work with. And so right now we're working, like I said, I work with Johnson County. So we're working with Alvarado, and in Burleson specifically, we're working with the Center for ASD. And helping them put on family community nights. We're helping them with the fundraiser so they can get more, or they can help the community more with those who have kids who have special needs, because that can put a lot of stress just on parents. We're working with the library. Sorry. Working with the library. We're trying to bring out stress alleviating activities to the community. So right now we just had a meeting with the library, and we're really excited about that.
And that's Burleson's library, right?
Burleson
and then y'all
Public
met.
Library.
Have y'all met with Alvarado too, or is it Burleson right now?
Just Burleson right now. But the Alvarado right now, we're just working with the schools and we're trying to reach out to the library and get more access to the community through them. But with the library, we're going to have a couple of art events in April and June and have a big art display in July and quote unquote party at the library.
So if you've ever wanted to submit some artwork to a gallery and
This
want
will
it
be
to be
it.
displayed,
Are we going to
this would
get
be
to
the
get the
time.
schools involved in this, or is it just through the library?
So I'm going to be sending out media to the schools
Because the
we just
schools
want
love to do things like that. That would be
everybody
awesome.
involved.
Mhm.
So
That's
we're
exciting.
trying to get it. It's funneled through the library, but we're trying to get everybody.
That's so cool.
So if you're listening to this and you're not in Burleson, but you're in Alvarado, you're in Godly,
Yeah,
you're
it's
in
a public
Cleburne,
library.
like reach out to us
Mhm.
and we can get something like that going for you too as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
We would love to.
So tell me more about, because I haven't got to hear about this yet. Is there like a contest, like a certain theme, or have y'all not got that far yet?
So we've gotten 2 themes, and the first one is going to be a day in the life. It's probably going to be a day in the life in Johnson County, especially if we get people outside of Burleson.
Yeah.
And it's for whoever wants to. They can submit a photo.
Any age?
Any age. It doesn't have to be professional photo. It could be everyone has a camera on their phone.
Oh, so it's
yeah.
a pic. It's literally a picture.
It's a picture, and they write a little short excerpt, and we're going to frame it and display it for everyone to see if
Oh,
they're
wow.
comfortable with that. Just to kind of show off the different aspects of the community that not everyone gets to see, but they get to show off their perspective.
Is there like a picture that's getting selected as number one, or are all the pictures going to be kind of displayed? How's that going to look? Sorry, I should have.
You're allowed to not know those details if y'all haven't talked about it.
Yeah,
yet.
no, I was just, I'm over here
That's-
wondering.
Is it a competition or
Yeah.
is it just,
I guess that's stuff that y'all
Can people
figure out.
buy the pictures if they want? I don't know.
This is, we're always brainstorming over here
Yeah.
at Reach. This
That
is stuff I
is-
need to start writing down.
We will brainstorm more on those,
Okay.
but those are fun. But right now it's just to whoever wants to just send in a photo and let us display it. And we want to eventually have a traveling art exhibit throughout the
Oh,
different
Yeah.
places in Burleson or Johnson County.
And Burleson, once or twice a year, they actually have an art fair.
Ooh.
So we need to take this and then put it into that and
Displayed at the art
Yeah,
fair. Oh,
how
that'd
cool would
be
that be?
Very cool.
That would be cool.
We'll have to figure out when that is.
Yes,
That'd
I
be
will.
fun.
I'll look into that. That could be that'd be my role.
The second art one is going to be tiny art. I don't know if anyone's ever heard of that. I just learned about it and I thought it was really cool. But it's supposed to be the endless opportunities because it's going with the Burleson reading summer program theme.
Oh, that's neat.
An ocean of opportunities. Sorry, I had
What's
to think about
tiny
it.
art?
Tiny art is like it could be sculptures. It could be like
Canvas.
canvases. Those little tiny canvases.
Like 6 by
Oh.
6 little squares.
The little
Yeah.
square. Okay,
Yeah.
I have seen
Ones.
some of those.
It could be, I don't know if in school y'all did those projects where they were live themes, kind of. I did one and it was like an Indian reservation. But
I
it
think
could
we
be
had to do that project. It was a
any-
long
I
time
remember
ago,
something
but it
like
was
that. Yeah, back in the 90s.
Yeah.
Like, pretty much anything went.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds
I always
really
laugh
exciting.
as we get younger staff. We're the old people, and it's so cool because y'all bring so much more into it, and it's like we're looking back at ancient years.
Hey, I'm the senior in this group.
Were they called dioramas or something?
I think it's what she
The,
said,
like 3D
dioramas.
little boxes.
Y'all
I
can look
love
it
those
up on
projects.
Google
Weren't
and
they
see
fun?
the coolest things. I'm
Yeah.
just saying.
Cool.
Oh, that'll be fun.
That's going to be super adorable too.
Yeah.
All the little tiny pieces. Yeah.
Okay.
And just share a little bit about what we're doing with the Alvarado schools.
So with the Alvarado schools, every school is wanting something different, but it's to help reach out to the students and the parents and bring more parents in. Just because, I mean, pre-COVID, it was hard to get parent participation, but it was increasing. Post-COVID, it's even harder, and
Mhm.
hardly any parents are wanting to come get involved with school. And it's not always their fault. Sometimes it's just because the pandemic brought on so much stress to
Right.
everybody. So we're doing different things. Some schools want to have community family nights. Some schools want to create a safe space for parents to come and talk with the teachers, talk with their students, different things like that. And we're also working with Alvarado High School specifically. They want a stress-free room and anxiety room for
That
all
is
their
so
kids who
cool.
suffer with anxiety,
Oh,
so
that's
that they can go in there, just relax and breathe a little bit.
Go Alvarado.
So
I know.
that's exciting.
How many schools are really dealing with all of this?
All of them.
And we're so excited that Alvarado is like, yeah, we want to do
I mean,
something
they
about
have
it.
literally
Yeah.
embraced and just,
Mhm.
it's so exciting how they are wanting to help and they're just, I don't know. I love it. That's my hometown. So go Alvarado.
Alvarado.
Any others that you want to share on, or things are still a work in progress? I know.
Things are still work in progress, but if any other people are listening and they totally want to reach out, I'd be willing to get involved with them and see what they would like to bring to their community.
Again, the funding is for stress reduction activities for open to the general population. So that's really what it's focusing on.
And you guys, we're not asking for people to help us with funding. We've received the funding and we want to help your community. I think
Yeah.
that's so important because these days everybody always thinks that someone's after something from somebody else. And it's really neat because we're trying to help the community. And it's neat that the state is helping us do that.
You want to schedule that yoga teacher?
Yeah.
Like,
if you
let
teach
us know.
yoga, let us know.
Yes, if you teach
Yoga in
yoga
the
and this
park.
sounds like something that you think would be important for the community, please let us know.
Free yoga classes.
What's our website?
I mean, we pay.
Well, we've got reach.
It's not live yet.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, they can still reach out, through the reachcouncil.org, and they can click on the coalitions there.
Or our Facebook is Reach Across Johnson County, and you can
Yes.
just message us.
Oh,
and we can-
absolutely.
That's the easiest way.
Yeah.
And for people on Facebook, we can write somebody's email on there that they can
Yes.
get a hold of.
I will
Absolutely.
have I'll text Tiffany and have her add that to
Okay.
All right. good
Facebook
deal.
right now.
Awesome.
Okay, good deal. Okay. Well, we're going to be going to a commercial break here in a few more minutes and everything, but let's just start off talking a little bit about, three of us in the room just recently got back from the CADCA forum, and the CADCA, and I wish that I wrote it down because it's coalitions. Was it coalitions of, what does CADCA stand for? I'm so used to the acronym. It's like, now I can't remember. It's Communities Anti-Drug Coalition
of America.
I can Google that really
Okay.
quick. I feel like all
It's in-
podcasts and everything now just have that one person Googling and fact checking.
That's
I
right.
mean, yeah, I'm over here doing the other
yeah.
parts, so because I have a feeling we probably didn't guess that right.
Yeah, it's not ever what. Yeah, it's like, why didn't I write that down? I could have wrote it down a minute ahead. But anyhow, so we went to. It's where all the drug-free community coalitions from not only across the United States but other countries that come in and network. We go through trainings and things like that, and it was so much fun. We flew into Washington D.C. and we stayed at the Gaylord at National Harbor, and that was a beautiful location. And I will say the trainings this year versus previous years, it was a little different because of COVID and all the restrictions with it. But I thought the trainings were good. I had 3 really exceptional trainings that I thoroughly enjoyed.
I had one on the education piece of how to get more involved with the schools. And I almost felt like with Johnson County, we have been so blessed with the communities just embracing us that it was neat to hear that their ideas, but also to know how we're doing all of those things. So
Yes.
to me, that was huge because I didn't even think of, they really didn't even give anything in that one training that we're not doing, which is kind of cool.
Yeah,
That was
that's
neat
kinda
to me.
cool.
We'll have to present next year.
Right?
Yeah.
For real.
All right. Well, everybody stay tuned. Come back and join us for the second half of the show, and we will see you shortly.
If you are trying to quit drinking or doing too many drugs, listen to me. You don't know me and we'll never meet. I had a problem like you once. I drank and used to party a little too much till it got out of control and almost ruined my life. I realized I needed help to fix my problem before it totally destroyed me. If you've tried to fix your drinking and drug problem and you know you can't do it alone, you need to call the National Treatment Advisors. They'll immerse you into a 30-day program to replace your old habits with new habits and totally change your life. And if you have PPO private health insurance, the entire program may be covered. Fix your problem right now before it gets any worse. Get clean. Call now and learn more. 877-247-1581. 877-247-1581. 877-247-1581.
Hey, there's something you forgot to do. It sure is hot. Are you sweating like a dog? Wait, what? Dogs don't sweat. Oh no, you forgot to get your window tinted. Whether it's the kitchen window that sits in the sun for the hottest part of the day, or you just got new wheels, call Sharp Window Tinting in Burleson. 817-615-9379, or look them up on the web, sharpwindowtint.com.
I would like to personally invite you out to the Blue Family Fund Casino Night. An evening of all your favorite casino games, next level auction items, great music, and an open bar. February 26th, 7 p.m. at the beautiful TX Whiskey Ranch in Fort Worth, Texas. All proceeds from the evening will benefit families of first responders. You need to get your tickets today at bluefamilyfund.org.
You're listening to JoCo Community Radio.
Welcome back to the second half of the Reach Across Johnson County segment on JoCo Community Radio. JoCo Community Radio is proud to be the voice of Johnson County, Texas, and is live 365 on TuneIn Radio Network. To listen, go to tuneinjoco.com and download the free app. All of our shows can also be found on any one of your favorite podcast platforms, such as Spotify, iTunes, Amazon, and Spreaker. Check out the lineup and more on jococommunityradio.com. Thanks for tuning in. This episode and more has been brought to you by Next Level Claims, making your insurance work for you. Reach out to your Texas sales rep, Nona Reed, at 844.tex.hail, which is 844-839-4245. And when we went to break, we were kind of talking about the CATCA Forum, and we did find out what the CATCA actually stood for.
we were close, guys.
We were close. So it's Community Anti-Drug Coalitions of America, and so those that get the CDC grants for the drug-free communities, and I think that there's CARE, there's a bunch of different coalition or groups that go to this.
Even
and
if they don't have those.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Even if coalitions
Everyone's
don't
welcome.
have this funding, I mean, this is absolutely some of the best training that you can go and participate in. And they bring wonderful, speakers in. Usually during Forum, which is always held in February, they do a Capitol Hill Day. And so
that was the hard part this year, is that we
Yes,
didn't get to have that at all. And there was a lot of hype, and then we found out it was virtual, and it's just not, that was one thing that I'm hoping next year looks different.
Yeah, I'm hoping it goes back, because I've actually participated in that in the past. In fact, Jen and I both have, and it can be so much fun to get to go in and talk to your representatives, or sometimes it may be some of their staffers or something like that. You can share what you're doing in your communities and things like that. And they look to us as resources a lot of times. And so, and that's a huge thing is for the coalition to become a resource. That way, if they're getting ready to vote on something, they can reach out to us and, maybe find out a little bit more details to where they can make an educated decision on that.
Because you get to speak to your senators for your
Yes.
counties.
Yes.
Correct at that.
Yeah. In your area. And so, as we mentioned this year, unfortunately, it's done virtually. And, but we'll definitely look at that this next year. But I mean, this was really, really good. There's a lot of places.
It was my first CATCA, and it was neat to hear. Some of the trainings were from parents that have lost their children to addiction, and to hear their stories, and then to see what they're doing with that is amazing.
Absolutely.
I mean, I don't know about you, but I cried in several of the
Oh,
trainings when
yes.
you're hearing these parents and they're telling their stories, but to see that they're not at home, not doing anything, but they're trying to make a difference for the communities it's just I wanted to have them on the radio show. So
So one of them we are. So I talked to Laura Stacks while we were there. They lost their son to marijuana, and she's actually got a book. And so we're going to talk about that. She's going to be coming on. Oh goodness, I think it's in March. I need to go back and look at the date, but we'll promote that show because it should be really great.
And parents that are listening, I want y'all to know that the common denominator that I heard at these trainings from parents is their kids were kids that were in a family-oriented home. There wasn't, addiction already there. It wasn't them seeing their parents addicted. It was, this can happen to anybody. There's not a certain stigma or family where this is going to happen to them. I mean, these parents, they had a child that was in law school that had already graduated. They had a child that was like in the Peace Corps. And then their third, I mean, it was not something that they would have saw coming. So just please be aware and talk to your kids. Prevention and education is the thing that they were trying to just advocate for. And I think it's so important.
Yeah. Losing a child to marijuana, you don't hear that phrase. You hear losing them to opioids, to, a lot of times stuff like that, but not marijuana. So I'm looking forward to hearing that. I didn't get to go to CADCA or hear her speak. So how she talks about that, I'm really,
I'm interested too.
See, and I think this, doing things like that, I think it's another way for the parents to be able to heal, to keep their child's memory alive. And, it's kind of a way to cope. I know that, we've had other guests on before that have lost their child. I know that Callie that we had on, she's an MST,
moving mountains.
She is. She's the one that she's going in and educating on the use of Narcan or naloxone, how important it is to have that in your home. But, in our school districts, on the school buses, our law enforcement, they're usually the first on the scene at a lot of things. And so she's going into law enforcement departments all across the state, and she's educating them and getting them hooked up on the Narcan. And so if anybody, we usually say that having Narcan in your home is like having a fire extinguisher, something that you hope you never need, but it's there in case, an emergency does arise.
And if anybody needs any, you can come up to Joco Radio. Tiffany has
Tiffany
some up
has
here.
some, yes. And or they can reach out to us either through our Facebook or whatever, because we would be happy to get them hooked up on that, because it is something that I think that is important. And it's not just because somebody's taking drugs and they may overdose or something like that. Sometimes it's even our elder community forgetting that they've taken medication already and they take it again. And so if you have painkillers in your home, or somebody that you love is having to take pain medication, it's a really good idea to have this in your home. And anybody can walk into any pharmacy across the country. There's a standing prescription where you can go in and get it. Unfortunately, it may cost a little bit. They'll bill your insurance. But at the same time, you can reach out to some of our community organizations that have this, and we can give it to you for free. All right. Well, anything else? Emily, you want to share anything that you gathered from the CADCA forum?
Yeah, actually, y'all brought up the whole communication. And one of my favorite classes was they were talking about how communication within families is so big that they did a study within their own community. They were in Wisconsin. They were in a different state, but they basically did I think it was a 5 or 10 year study within their organization of trying to promote family activities, stuff that they were passing out. Just to see if that would reduce drug and alcohol use among teenagers. And they found that it wasn't a silver bullet, but it reduced their use dramatically.
Wow.
They said for them it was 98%.
Wow.
They were a tiny community. So, Burleson alone was probably at least 6 times their size.
Yeah.
But just the idea that you don't have to force your kids to do stuff, but literally just join in with something that they like and just start talking to them. Small things help.
Yes.
And it's,
and then
it makes a huge difference.
I was just going to say, you got to take advantage of any opportunity you have to talk to kids. If something that shows up on the news, or that's something that's in a TV show or something like that, utilize those tiny moments to ask your kids, what would you do in that situation, or something like that? Because studies show when surveys are done across the country, most parents think that their kids don't listen to them, but the studies, kids
They're listening.
They're listening.
They might not make eye contact or act like they're listening, but they're listening.
So parents' conversations with their kids are huge. And so please take advantage of that.
And you can scare them. I mean, I feel like when we did that education piece a few weeks ago at Alvarado High School, teenagers aren't good at looking at the next day. They're at the minute by minute situation. And whenever you talk to your teens or your youth and you tell them whatever you're wanting to be when you grow up, what if this happened in 2 seconds and you no longer could have that? Or how would your family look if they didn't have you anymore? How do you think that would make them feel? Kids don't want to hurt their family or the ones that they love. Yes. And sometimes they're not thinking about those things. So it's really important to have those kind of conversations, even if your child's never even been in trouble.
Right. Well, and parents remember too that, their brain is still developing, and, what were you thinking? Remember, they are not actually thinking with that part of their brain just yet.
I wish that someone had been telling us that whenever I was in junior high and high school. No one told me that 25, 26 age. I mean, I tell my kids it's 30, but
for some it is, I feel like.
Yeah. So, I mean, just because your body's developed at 18, that doesn't mean your brain is. And
right.
So yeah, keep that in mind. That was one of the things that, when I found out it's 25 and, allowing your kids to drink early or something like that, it's like, oh my gosh, what have I done, to your brain? You could have been so much smarter.
I tell my kids, think about how smart mom could be. I mean, because I'm always open about anything I've ever done. And I'm like, I just didn't know. I mean, I could be the president.
That's right. Who knows? One of these days you may be.
Well. Back to Johnson County. But
oh goodness. Well, I know that we'll hopefully be able to participate in more of the CADCA Academy trainings and stuff like that coming up pretty soon.
So off of that, one of the big things is we took a youth to CADCA this year.
Yeah.
And she got to participate in a lot of different things along with other youth. And I'm so excited. If anybody's listening, youth or parents of youth that have children or kids, teenager, it could be junior high or high school, that wants to be a part of our youth coalition. We're trying to get that going. And it can look like so many different things. I mean, just advocating and helping spread positive messaging in the schools. One of the first things we're wanting to do is just have like a weekend or a Saturday where we get together with the youth and they get to make positive messages for the Meals on Wheels and just let our seniors know that they're loved, because I had heard at the training that those messages are so important that they don't even know the last time that some of these elderly, I mean, they're door to door getting that food is maybe the only contact they're getting. So how special would it be to them to get messages from the youth just saying you're loved, you're important? And our kids want to do things like this. So I'm excited about that. And I can't wait to see where the coalition goes with our youth.
I know. I'm excited about that too. There's so many things that we could do that we've learned at trainings and stuff. So peer-to-peer programming is a huge, where kids can share messages with their classmates or their peers and make a huge difference.
One training I was on, I was telling Ashley about this earlier. Oh gosh. Okay. So our youth don't even really look at Facebook at all. And they don't look at Instagram. It's like 5%. I mean, they might get on there and post some photos, but they're not scrolling. It's more about sharing about themselves. If we want to get in any kind of communication to them, we have to start doing TikToks and Snapchats, or we're not going to be reaching them. So to me, that's interesting.
Yes.
Ashley and I were talking about having, if anybody wants to guide us on some TikToks, I mean, if you want to become TikTok famous, you could even be the person that helps us do our TikToks, because I don't want to be the face of that.
Me either. Ashley, you're the young one of the group.
I actually don't even have a TikTok.
I do have TikTok, and I was telling Shari that I'm probably on that the most, but do I want
to just start creating dances?
Well, yeah. What do you do on TikTok? Do you talk?
Me? Oh, no, I don't. I like to, it's just everything. Like yeah, but I mean, I have some TikToks. Okay. There's I have my dogs on there. Just sometimes I do the funny things. I mean,
Kendall is doing TikToks when we were in Washington.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, so
she loves. Kendall was in front of the White House trying to do a TikTok, and we had a security guard chase us because they were closing it down. They close it for 15 minutes, like every few hours, and
they have dignitaries that come in at various times, so they have to shut the roads down to get them in. So they were
busy.
Yeah,
he didn't really care that she was making a TikTok.
Like, serious. How dare?
Oh goodness. Well, what do you call those influencers? So maybe we can find somebody that would like to
There's
be an influencer.
one in Alvarado that's huge.
Really?
Yes.
Well, maybe we
Don't
have
know
to get
their
in
name,
touch.
but Kendall was telling me about that.
Hmm.
So maybe we could.
Yeah.
All it takes
Something
is
to think about.
all it takes is one viral.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's true. It really is true.
but you can really do anything. You can get on there and tell a story that would touch people. I mean, it doesn't have to be something that's funny or a dance. It can be really anything that's going to touch someone. That's what's neat about TikTok.
I know, because I don't do the TikToks, but I do like to watch some of them.
The TikTok.
Whatever it's called. But anyhow, I love the helpful hints that people do, or some people that go in and they try different products and they'll tell you whether they're good or not. I like those kind of things. So
Me too.
it was interesting.
I love them. There's a lot of good mental health ones that I follow on the TikTok. And I love to just see how they make their, I mean, of course you're looking at that and their houses are immaculate and they're don't look like a hot mess at all. But it makes me happy to
The
see
one
all
room, not their house. The
That's
one
right.
room.
And they're like showing
it
you
could
what
just
they
be an
do
area.
every morning. But you know that they probably are filming that not right when they wake up, but the night before or something. I mean, it's just, but those kind of things get me excited because that's where I strive to be in life. And that would be neat if, I mean, we could do whatever we want when it comes to what we're trying to get the message about.
Yeah.
And then Snapchat, I don't
do that
know.
one.
I don't know anything about Snapchat. Like I have it and I don't even understand. It's a lot going on the buttons. So that's going
I
to be
use Snapchat a lot.
awesome.
Is that the one that has all the filters?
Yes.
Okay, because I know my
My
grandkids even look at that
siblings
stuff.
do. Yeah, my little sister, she's like 12. She's like, you need a Snapchat.
But I
was like, you
feel-
could just FaceTime me.
As we build our youth coalition, wouldn't this social media stuff be things that could be something that they could be working on too?
So really what we're saying is we need help.
All the teens that like to make videos. please
Because we know that Facebook is not the way to go, and that's all that we know what to do.
Maybe a little bit of Instagram.
Yeah.
All right, good deal. So that was exciting. So, okay, well, let's talk about some of our upcoming events.
Oh yeah, we've got lots.
Yeah, and we've got a short amount of time to do this in too.
Mhm.
Okay, so the first thing that we've got coming up is we're doing a prom pop-up event, and this is an opportunity for juniors and seniors to get help to get prom attire. So basically, they come in and get a brand new evening gown dress. Most of these have their price tag still on them, and it's theirs to keep. All they have to do is come and participate in the event. The one for Johnson County, in fact, it's going to be at the First Baptist Church in Burleson. You want to give more details on that, Nikki?
Oh gosh. Okay. What's Thursday?
February the 17th.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's the 17th, the 18th, and the 19th at the First Baptist Church in Burleson. From Thursday, Friday is from 4 to 8 p.m. And Saturdays is from I think 8:30 a.m. to noon.
9 to noon.
9 to noon.
Mhm.
And it's for all of Johnson County. It's not just Burleson. It's located in Burleson, but Alvarado is participating as well. And we would love to have Godly, Kleber, and Joshua. I mean, whoever wants to come, if they need a dress or a suit, please come. The only thing is you get to do an educational piece about drugs or alcohol, but it's 15 minutes. And
they're fun activities. Yeah, there'll be fun activities.
It's something that everybody needs to have, especially going into prom night, because it's a exciting event, but we don't always know what's going to happen.
Yeah, and we've got gosh, 300 plus gowns for the girls. We do have some suits for the guys. I will say maybe not as many as we have dresses and everything, but come in and check it out.
The dresses are amazing. Like whenever we were setting up last year, I was wanting to try on dresses. Like
Same.
they
Beautiful.
are good dresses.
Yeah, whatchamacallit, I think,
Just
is the
fun,
one that donated most of them. But I will say that this year we did ask if anybody had any prom dresses that were gently used, clean, that they wanted to donate. So we were actually accepting some donations this year.
And we still can.
Yes, and we still can. And let me go ahead and give you some information. So Elizabeth Scott Bridal is one of our drop-off locations in Johnson County. And you can go there Mondays from 10 to 6. Tuesdays, they are closed. Wednesdays, Thursday, Friday are 10 to 6. You can take a dress that you might have had left over. Most people only wear their prom dresses one time, and they won't wear them again. And if you're not trying to sell it and you want to give it to somebody that could really use it, this is a perfect opportunity to do that. She's also open 9 to 6 on Saturday, and that's Elizabeth Scott Bridal. That is 113 Northeast Johnson Avenue, Suite 500 here in Burleson. And so you can drop it off there. You can contact us. We can make arrangements to get it picked up and do that. And it's really hard if somebody participates and for some reason or other we didn't have the dress in their size that just really did it for them. It's really sad. So we're trying to alleviate that. Most people, I will say, that participate last year walked
get
away
so excited. I mean, it really is a fun event. I'm excited about this year.
And they get a swag bag just for participating that'll have some goodies in it and a lot of good information and things.
Everybody likes the swag.
Everybody likes that swag. That's right. So again, that's coming up. We have the Johnson County event 17th, 18th, and 19th. We're also doing this in Ellis County. And so if for some reason somebody misses the dates in Burleson, they can always come to our Ellis County location, which is going to be the Monday and Tuesday, which is the 21st and 22nd. It's going to be at the Waxahachie Civic Center in Waxahachie. And the hours on that is 4:30 to 8. And so they can come in. They can only come one day. So, that's the only requirement, one day, and they can only take home, one dress or suit. But it's a great opportunity.
I think that was what
participate.
They had mentioned that a few families tried to get multiple dresses and
Last
come back
year.
with other family members. So it is we can only give dresses to the students.
Yes.
Okay.
And so we're going to have like a little ticket that they'll come in, they'll get a ticket, they'll put their name on it, what school district they're associated with. They'll answer a few questions and they'll go to their tables. And, once they participate in a little activity, it'll be initialed off on. And then once those are done, they'll come in and check that in. And then they will be given a pass to go start shopping. And we're hoping to maybe have some personal shoppers that can go and help them, pick out something that they would like. And, they'll be able to go and try things on and check things out. So it'll be really exciting.
And other than the education tables, we're also going to have a youth coalition information table. So if any of the youth that are attending the event want to get more info on our youth coalition, please come talk to us.
Yeah, especially if these kids are interested in making policy change within their school district or their city or on a state level or federal level.
I really love the youth these days. I feel like they do want to make a difference and they want to be known as something good that's important to them. So I'm excited to see who all we get to speak with next week.
Yeah, that'll be good. One of the other upcoming events that we've got going on is with the Alvarado Police Department. We have partnered with them to provide a drug disposal program, so you can safely take your expired or unused medications to the Alvarado Police Department. They've got it in the lobby set up and ready to go. So any expired or unused medications that you'd like to safely be able to dispose of, please don't flush them or throw them in the trash, because those do get into our landfills and our water supplies. So please find a safe way to be able to dispose of your medications. But we're going to do a ribbon cutting. I believe it's in March 4th. March 4th. Thank you very much, Ashley. So on March 4th, we're going to do a ribbon cutting with them. And then on April the 30th, many communities, law enforcement departments within Johnson County are participating in the prescription drug take back event.
I know Burleson and Cleburne always have their drug take back event, and it's pretty big.
And then
Alvarado, we're working with them to have one this year.
Yeah, they're going to set up to do theirs, and we're hoping to work with some of the other law enforcement communities or cities in Johnson County that if they're interested in having their very own safe disposal program, we would be happy to talk with them on that. I know at the Venus Police Department, they weren't putting in the drop box, but they were willing to put in the single-use disposal envelopes to where people could come by and get an envelope. And then what they do is they put their medication bottles in there, seal it up, and it actually goes into the mail and it goes to Sharps Compliance, and they dispose of the medication through their incinerators. So there's many options to safely to be able to dispose of your medications.
Are there any other locations that have that, or is it just the Venus PD?
So the Venus Police Department has it, and then of course many of our fire departments across Johnson County have these in place also.
The fire departments
do.
Okay.
And so please utilize those opportunities. Also, at many of the community events, we take out the doTERRA bags, and that's another way that you can safely dispose of medication. So always stop by at our booths. We typically have those at our table as well. So those are some of the things that we've got coming up. And let's see, if you happen to have any community events that you would like Reach Across Johnson County Coalition to maybe come in and set up a booth that would have this information or have the Narcan or, something like that, please let us know. Send us a message. I think that Nikki's going to have her email information up there, Ashley as well. If not, you can go to the Reach Council website at reachcouncil.org. Or go to our Facebook page, the Reach Across Johnson County Facebook page, and you can actually message us there. We would love to be involved in community events across Johnson County. So if you have something that's coming up soon that you would like us to set up a booth, we'd be happy to do that. Mm-hmm. All right. Let's see. Let's talk about how people can get involved with the coalition. Okay. Y'all want to jump on that? I know we try to have all the sectors in the community. And we talk about sectors, we're talking about, school districts, city, law enforcement, parents, youth. I'm trying to think.
I'm horrible at sectors, so Jen can
media, business,
other organizations, nonprofits that serve.
Yeah. What are we missing?
I know there's 12 main ones.
Mm-hmm. Really, just if you're a person in Johnson County, you're one of those.
Yes,
and
you'll fit a sector somewhere.
Yes.
If anybody wants to even start by helping with the prom event next week, please email me and you can come and help youth pick out their prom dress. I mean, it's that
be a
easy.
Personal
it's
shopper,
just,
I
have a few realtors that are interested in doing that. So, anybody can be a part of helping our coalition grow, and just let us know what you think the community needs as well.
Yes, we want everybody to have a voice. And did I mention faith-based community? I can't remember if I mentioned them. So, faith-based community is a big one. And if you're interested and want to be able to make a positive change within your community, or if you're passionate about a certain thing, whether it's smoke-free, air and things like that, please come and join us. If you've lost a loved one to opioids or something and you would like a platform to be able to tell your story and things like that, we would love to have you join us.
Or if you're an advocate for mental health and even fitness, anything, we would love for you to even come on our radio show. We love to have speakers come on here.
Who's coming up on our radio show?
So we're still working on getting things lined up. We've got we're going to have Dr. Collier back. She's the one that wrote the Neuro Whereabouts. We're going to have her back to talk about her book.
Tiffany was excited about that.
Yeah, and then
we're going to have Cook's drowning. They have a drowning program at Cook's Hospital, and they're going to be coming on soon to talk about that and be on our podcast.
Yes, and I think we're talking to the library about maybe coming in and talking to us about their resources. If you would be interested in being a guest on our show to talk about things, reach out to us, especially if you're a nonprofit organization or a resource in our community that maybe somebody may not be totally aware about. Let us know. We would love to give you that platform. Well, thank you, each of you, for joining us this evening. I was so glad to have our roundtable group. This was a lot of fun.
You guys were awesome.
All right. Thank you, and hope to see you next week.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
From Burleson to Venus and Grandview to Godley, this is the voice of Johnson County. JOCO Community Radio.